Hi.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. That just sort of came out of me. I'm Marcus Parks. Hi.
Where do I look at? Right here? Okay, good. It seems like we've never done this before. And that might be because we are very excited because we had our first set ever last Saturday.
Yes. Welcome to No Dogs in Space, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
This is
Carolina Hidalgo.
And we are excited.
And this is Marcus Parks.
Thank you. And I'm also excited because I'm transparent. You can see through me. I'm going through to the wall. See? Well, Well, yes, as Carolina said, we had our first ever DJ set of our lives on Saturday night at Footsie's.
Yes. I'm sorry you guys couldn't make it. It was last Saturday from 5 to 10. We did a happy hour thing where we each had two 50-minute sets, which we did with James Spooner, who is fantastic, by the way. Check out his book, The High Desert, and Afropunk, the documentary. We have a picture, right, of us at the thing?
We do.
Yes.
This is proof. Us at the DJ booth.
Yes. That's us with James Spooner. He's been DJing for like a decade, so he taught me everything I know. Literally, he taught me everything. And it was really cool too because I did the first set, and as I said, I've never DJ'd before, but you know, I've like fantasized about it.
You picked it up so fucking quick. Like we showed, like James gave you like a quick, very quick tutorial. You went up first. You did fucking great.
Yeah. No, it was good for me to go up first because there's not a lot of people there, so it was like perfect for me to figure it out. And you guys are yelling these things at me, and you're yelling something at me.
I yelled
like,
nothing.
Press this button and do this. It's too loud. It's not loud enough. And I'm just like, and then I figured it out, and it was really fun.
It was so much fun. Yeah, I got to close out the night. Got to close out the set. Got to do a really weird dark. Yeah, it was good. That's me. I got to do a cool, weird dark set at the end of the night. Got to play some Gila Bam, played Why They Hide the Bodies Under My Garage.
You did Gogo Bordello, which I thought was cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I played Occurrence on the Border by Gogo Bordello off their second album, Multicontra Culti versus Irony, which is an incredible album that is very much under the radar. I know Gypsy Punks is like their big album, but the one before that, Multicontra Culti versus Irony, is fucking woohoo, so fucking good. Oh, and thanks for the subs, Obelius Easy, XX, Cauterizer, XX, Neon Pop Tea, and Jennifer Robbins. Thank you so much for the subs.
What a badass name, Jennifer.
Yeah. And I finally got to realize my years-long dream of playing Surf and Bird in a bar, and everyone danced their asses off.
Yes, I saw Natalie dance.
Yes.
Our beautiful friend Natalie from Spun, and she danced. I danced as well. We were all into it. I had so much fun. You played Collins Kids as well. Gosh, I don't even remember anymore. Like I played everything. I played Big Black. Of course, I had to. Like,
oh yeah.
2 songs of it, and then I accidentally played like another song. Remember? I couldn't read the grooves, and but you know I figured it out.
Oh yeah. Big Black goes great in a DJ set.
Yeah, I loved it.
You killed it. And so we got some, of course, if you guys want to ask us any questions over the next hour, just go on the chat, ask Kelly, we'll beam it right over here. And the first question we have tonight is from Glean Killy saying, seeing Danzig right now with Behemoth, jealous. Why are you watching this instead of watching Danzig and Behemoth?
Yeah.
You say right now.
Like
just
together,
go watch Danzig.
Put the phone down.
How little is he?
Yeah.
Like, can you see, like, when you're looking at him on stage, like, is he like that? Or, like, can you notice how small he is from the stage?
He
like,
was
please.
supposed to be Wolverine, remember? So he's little, but he's got a lot of power behind him.
Supposed to be Wolverine. That whole, like, that rumor kind of got out of control. Where that actually started from, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong on this one because you did a lot of the research for that. But where that started was a comic book magazine called Wizard that I used to read when it was the big comic book magazine when I was a kid, and they used to do like fantasy comic book movie castings every month, and they did one for X-Men, and they of course picked Patrick Stewart for Professor X, and he ended up, of course, becoming Professor X.
So?
But they were the ones who picked Danzig for Wolverine.
I do believe that Danzig also said that he had like a business lunch once talking about it. But then again, he does like the Misfits, they kind of exaggerate or flat out lie about stuff.
True.
But it's only just to make them sound good. It's not anything horrible,
Yeah. I do believe that he probably did take a lunch with someone about maybe playing Wolverine at some point.
They always distort the facts. Like when they played CBGBs twice when they first started as the Misfits. I'm talking about like the first weekend they were the Misfits, right?
Yeah.
They did like two, like one of those like showcases, like new talent showcases. And then Hilly Crystal from, the owner of CBGBs, he didn't really care for them, so he never booked them again. But then decades later, in front of paparazzi, they said, "Oh, we did CBGBs, but they refused to pay us, so we stopped doing it, ever again." So it's like a lie. So we don't know how close he was to playing Wolverine. Of course, Hugh Jackman is obviously better.
Yeah, obviously. No, Danzig would have been terrible. He can't act. Like, the only time I ever saw him, in anything was in that Adult Swim episode, that Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode, which was great, but he just mumbled a lot.
That was probably like the 10th take. But anyway, I hope Danzig's not hearing this right now.
No, he's not. He's playing an actual show.
But this Glee guy is probably holding up the phone. I enjoy it. Please. No. That would be fantastic. I wish we went, though.
Yeah. Ronan690 asked, did you do a theremin bit at your DJ set? I played no Clara Rockmore. I did actually buy a theremin over the break. I bought the mini theremin.
Oh, yeah.
But I returned it because it sounds too cheap.
Yeah,
it does. It's only like $300-400, and it sounds.
That's a lot of money.
I know it sounds like $50, and so I returned it because it didn't make any noise that I can't already make with my synth, and it just wasn't my bag. Because I actually do think if you really want a good sounding theremin, you have to buy I think it's called the Rockmore theremin, named after Clara Rockmore, the best theremin player in existence in history, and I think it costs like $9,000.
Estate auctions. That's what we're going to do from now on. We're in LA anyways. Just wait till someone,
Here's a question for you. This is from Kelly Jean 64. What musician did you gain the most respect for after doing research on them?
Suicide.
Yeah.
That's two people. Mm-hmm. Marty Rev and Alan Vega. Especially Marty Rev, to be honest.
Yeah.
It turns out that he's just a nice guy. I really dug in deep, and it turns out he would bring like women over to his apartment and make them tea. And he was married to the same woman since he was 19.
Yeah.
Remember, they fell in love, and now he's unfortunately a widower. She passed away, but he pines for her.
Yeah, and he wrote that absolutely beautiful song "Mary." That's just like one of the most beautiful like synth songs ever recorded instrumental. Yeah. It's like one of those. We talked about it on the show. Like it's one of those few instrumental songs that actually exudes love. Yes. Like you can feel love, and like anytime anyone tries to make any stupid argument that synthesizers can't exude emotion, that you have to have a true, like you have to have an like I guess you call an organic instrument to really exude emotion. Just play a Mary, because that song with just synthesizers alone, you can tell how much a man loves a woman.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
It was nice.
Yeah, no, they're my favorite people of all time.
And from the land of the Replacements, thoughts on "If Only You Were Lonely." I fucking love that song. What do you mean thoughts on it? The song, "If Only You Were Lonely"?
Oh, it's great.
It's incredible.
Yeah. We talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we said our thoughts.
Yeah, that goes without saying. If you've never heard that song, like write it down right now and then go listen to it after the show, because it's an incredible song.
Yeah, it's one of those that he was too ashamed to tell Peter Jesperson about, right? It was one of those, like, he was just like, yeah, it's whatever. It was a thing. I just worked on it a little bit. Who cares? And then Peter Jesperson's like, this is good. And he's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of.
Yeah, whatever. It's cool. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
He's like, I have feelings, I guess. I have emotions. I'm an artist. By the end of it, he was yelling he was an artist.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And speaking of artists, we're going to show some videos today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going
to do like a lot of videos today, because we were really busy, DJing all the weekend.
Yeah, so we are going to start with an artist. We're going to start with a video from a guy named Elton Motello. Now, do you want to tell the story as we're watching the video, or do you want to tell it first, or do you want to show the video?
Afterwards, but Elton Motello is also a band.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I
and
thought it
it's
was a guy.
It's also a stage name for the guy, for the lead singer. So like, we should put it on because this song has been in my head. I mean, it will be in everyone's head in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I love this song,
really
and
great.
it's gonna make you're immediately gonna recognize the melody. But yeah, this song is incredible. The lyrics are incredible. It's got a story to it. The performance is so good. Let's hit it.
Can you tell what's on my mind? She's with him, it drives me wild. I like to hit him on the head until he's dead. The sight of blood is such a high.
I love the idea of the powder, by the way.
He gives me head.
Of course, every time every time he says he gives me head, he hits his own head and powder just comes right off. Like, this is one of those clips that I can't believe this isn't one of those that everybody knows.
He gives me head.
Every time. So, Caroline, do you want to tell everybody, Jet Boy, Jet Girl, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But first of all, I mean, I love his face. I love his hair, the whole outfit and
Oh
everything.
yeah, fuck you written on his shirt.
Oh, so cool. You have that shirt. You have a shirt just like this, by
I
the
do,
way.
yeah.
No, this guy, his real name is Alan Ward, and he first started
Of course,
out.
his name is Alan Ward.
I know, of course. He pays his taxes and everything. Look at this guy. Of course he does. He helps the ladies cross the street. Alan Ward, who I believe he's still with us today. He was in a punk band, or like kind of a rock whatever band, with Brian James from The Damned before The Damned started.
That's great.
So the thing
So
was,
he's British.
yeah, so Alan Ward, he started out like being like an engineer, like recording engineer and stuff, and he decided to like move to Brussels. And so Brian James and the rest of the band went to Brussels. They named their band Bastard.
Oh, that's great.
Look at this guy. He's so cool. And so, which funny enough, let me...
And this guy just comes out.
Actually, I've been trying to find out who this guy is. I think he might be the host of the show he's on. I don't know. If anyone from the chat knows who this man is, please bring him forward. You see that? I don't think it was planned out.
I don't think so. And then he disappears.
Oh, I love this. That's not even a microphone, because you can't even sing when you have talk in your face. I'd be choking the whole time.
Brownie Baker 72 says, looks like someone dug up Patrick Swayze.
Someone also said that about Robin Williams in the comments. And you know what? So what if they did?
But the thing
It's
about
like that scene in Kill Bill when she comes out of the coffin and she goes and sits down and gets coffee.
Yeah.
It's like this guy.
But the melody about this song is like everyone knows the song from. This song's been in commercials in a different version, like the. It's a lot cleaner, you know. So what's the story behind that?
Okay, yeah. If we can cut it. Oh, there we go.
That's it.
Okay, perfect. So what happened was way back in like 1973 or something. Alan Ward was in a band with Brian James, and they were Bastard. And then I know. And then Brian James, after like almost a year in Brussels, because he was like, well, this is kind of cool. Let me go somewhere cool instead of, I guess, old-fashioned England, right? Mm-hmm. And they were playing there. After 10 months, he's like, I've been talking to my friend Mick Jones. Mick Jones.
From The Clash.
And I was talking to my friend Mick Jones, and he wants to start another band in England, so I'm going to go move there. So Brian James... So Brian James does move to London. He goes there to start a band that Mick Jones already figured out called London SS.
Ah, yes.
And then, but that didn't pan out and everything. Mick Jones ended up going with The Clash. And, that was kind of the time when Malcolm McLaren and Bernie Rhodes, they were kind of figuring out who goes in what band.
Yeah.
They kind of just sorted them out. Like the Sex Pistols went here, The Clash went here, and the Damned went here. So when Brian James came back and kind of it didn't work out with, Mick Jones, him and like Rat Scabies were like, well, we're like odd men out. Mm-hmm. We don't have a band, so let's get something started. And then the Damned started.
Yeah, they found Dave Vanian, and the story's much longer than just they found Dave Vanian and Captain Sensible and went from there. Of course, listen to the Damned series
You can listen to Damned
for
series.
the full story. But So that version is...
This happened in 1977, right? So Alan Ward starts this band called Elton Motello, which is also his like stage name. And he wrote this song. He definitely wrote this song. And but he didn't get his band to like play the music. He got like session musicians to do this. And so at the exact same time, because remember, he knows a lot of like French people.
And he's doing this in Brussels.
Yes.
Okay, this is all starting to come together.
I think he's still in Brussels at this point. I'm not sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong, right? But he does this. And then at the same time, that French guy, the Plastic Bertrand guy, he does his with the same backing song. So it's all the same exact song. It's just different vocals.
It's the same track.
It's the same track.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, and he wrote the French lyrics to it, and then he released it, and then the American version never the British English version never really quite made it as big as the French version, except the British version made it huge in Australia. It got to 33 in the charts.
It's still pretty good for a song that's like explicitly about gay sex between an older man and a younger boy.
Yeah, and so let's hope younger man. Let's hope it's younger man.
I believe it's from what the story goes. It's like a 15-year-old boy and like an older man having like a sexual relationship.
That's right. That is correct. It's very Socratic, and so the French version just like skyrocketed. It got huge. And then remember we talked about this over breakfast when Captain Sensible did a cover of this song.
Yeah.
And then he asked the recording company people, like the industry people, he asked them like, hey, can you please not release this in England and my country? Because my aunts and my uncles and my family, they're very like homophobic and stuff. And it's just like, I don't want to deal with it. And they're like, sure. But then they did it anyway.
It's not even that good anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's not good.
It just doesn't do anything new with the song. And it just like, you get like, there's just certain song, like a song like that, like that dude has to sing that song. Like that guy specifically has to sing it. He has to deliver it. Like he just knows how to do the oh. Like he knows how to do that shit, you know?
You're right.
And and the way he dances, like while he's singing it, that's exactly how I pictured a guy dancing to that song. Like it's that like kind of janky, like
you could
zombie.
do that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's kind of how I dance sometimes.
We're coming up with Halloween ideas, by the way. So that could be a cool one.
You always have the most obscure Halloween idea. Like it's like, yeah, you could be Elton Motello for Halloween. I'm like,
yeah.
And so
if you guys have any ideas, please put it on the chat.
Yeah, I mean, I did have the idea to go as, fucking Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I got the brown shirt, I've got the hair. I just have to like grow horrible facial hair for like a week, get a Polaroid camera, and just go. It's a good picture, $5, and then everyone's gonna know exactly what I'm up to.
That's too easy. But yeah, I think we should do it. Maybe we should do it actually, because my idea of American Gladiators might not pan out. So you're probably right about that.
Cat B. Fuller asks, is there any genre of music you just can't get behind? No matter how much you try, I just can't get behind emo. I can't get behind emo anything despite respecting it. I'm kind of the same way with screamo, definitely.
I really like screamo, but like good screamo. I mean, that's what every person has ever said about screamo, right?
But what is so what's a good screamo band for you?
I like Thursday. They had that one good album when I was like, I don't know, 16 or something. It came out.
Thursday's okay. I can say Thursday's okay.
That's the most anyone, even Thursday themselves would be like, we are okay.
Yeah, Thursday's okay, but yeah, screamo, I can't, anything that came after that, like My Chemical Romance, I'm sorry, I know, we have huge My Chemical Romance fans here in this room.
It's just
I apologize, but we're just...
You were too old for that.
I was too old for it.
Yeah, you had to be like about 5 years younger, I think.
You just had to be a little bit, you just had to be a little bit younger. I think I missed it by about 4 years because at the time that I was that I would have gotten into My Chemical Romance, I was listening to Korn, baby.
I was listening to Neutral Milk Hotel.
Okay.
Really infuriating everyone and talking about the Iraq War and how shitty that was and pipelines and stuff. I was insufferable.
Well, that's 2003. I'm talking 1997 here.
Oh, God, I don't know what year it is.
Well, but speaking of Korn, I want to go to our next video. Korn actually did a cover of this song that we're about to play.
Oh, nice.
That was actually very fucking cool. The Korn cover was actually very cool. Because
Okay.
again, as I said on one of the Monks episodes, Korn isn't good, but you should listen to Korn.
You should like it, right?
You should give it a chance. It's fun music. It's fun, dumb, just like let your brain go type of music. Visceral. And they did a cover of this song from way back in the 70s from a movie that we both love. I know you love it in particular.
Oh, what movie?
Up in Smoke.
Oh my God, yes.
So
Okay, yes. Mi compadres, by the way.
Yeah, so let's watch that. This is Earache My Eye from the movie, which I will argue, even though it's a very simple, just fucking like straight up rock, like power chord song, I love this song. Let's see it. Yeah, spoiler alert for Up in Smoke. This is the ending of the movie.
Yeah, this is the climax.
Yeah, the climax. Where they end up in a battle of the bands.
Is he really playing that? I hope so.
No, not even close.
In all fairness, they came from a fiber weed van that was all made of weed, and they were really stoned. I don't know if you followed the movie, but I can't believe they're standing up right now.
He's also not playing drums. And he also should probably be singing into a microphone. I think the name they went by was
Alice Bowie.
Alice Bowie.
Yes,
That's right.
better than David Cooper.
Yeah, David Cooper sounds like an insurance agent.
Yeah. I see what they were going with this.
Joey Red Bull saying wearing a tutu before Toxic Avenger made it cool. Absolutely. Is this comment about My Chemical Romance true? Kelly said that My Chemical Romance started because the lead singer watched 9/11 in person and it inspired him to follow his dreams.
What a day.
On this day, on 9/11, today is 9/11. It's the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. Oh yeah, so yeah, we're getting in the, but yeah, we were actually saying today, like today actually made us both like super homesick for New York.
Yeah.
Because for so many years, like our thing on 9/11,
We always spend 9/11 at home.
yeah, we would always get up and we would watch like the full ceremony, like not as
And
anything
the
like.
reading of the names and stuff.
Yeah.
Except for the years sometimes we would travel on 9/11 because it was cheaper. But but otherwise we would be at home.
But it
Yeah.
wasn't any sort of like more like it wasn't like we would sit there and watch it solemnly, but we always made a point to put it on for
Yes.
whatever reason. I don't know why. I was always compelled to always put it on. So yeah, this year that we tried looking like
This is
Carolyn
why-
actually put it on KTLA to see if they were doing the wall-to-wall 9/11 coverage.
No.
And what were they talking about?
I don't care. Something about Comcast. And then we go BBC News, and then there's like, there's so much going on in Morocco right now. They don't have time for 9/11.
They did devote like 30 seconds to 9/11.
It was
I was
a
like,
scroll,
what?
okay? Basically a scroll.
22nd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
This is what happens. We're about to talk about Up in Smoke, and 9/11 takes over. Because I want to talk. That's
9/11.
one of our favorite movies.
Up in Smoke. 9/11. Iculus 2789 said, have you guys heard Matt Berry's synth album Milkbone? It's fantastic.
No.
I have not heard it yet, but I'm a huge Matt Berry fan.
Oh.
Matt Berry, the guy with the super deep voice and What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
He's an actual musician. He also had, I think, a jazz album that my buddy Chris turned me on to that was also pretty good. Guy's a legitimate musician.
Hey, very nice.
So we're at 7:30 here, and I
Yeah.
want to show a video real quick because we're about to get into the vinyl haul.
Oh, yes. You guys should be very excited. I am very excited.
Let's start with a video from Wendy Carlos talking about the making of the Shining soundtrack.
One of the things that almost made it into the film was based on the instrument that's in front of me here. And this is something we call the circular controller. And we shorthandedly refer to it as the circon, circular controller, cool. Get it? Yeah. And it's a control instrument that we built for The Shining. When we asked Stanley what kind of music was he listening to, and he said, oh, you know, things like Sibelius's Valse Triste. And we thought, oh, that's a lovely piece. You know, the ya, 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 ya. And instead of playing that with a keyboard-like synthesizer, which we had the Moog, we thought we'd build an instrument specially for it that could do a singing voice. And this is it here. And I'll show you what it sounds like.
I can listen to her all day.
All day.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's incredible. I think that thing's actually in a synth museum now.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
She should be in a museum right now.
Well, yeah, Wendy Carlos is one of the the forefathers of electronic music. Or foremothers, excuse me, of electronic music.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I mean,
pioneer.
We will get into it actually in our Krautrock series.
We are.
Yeah.
But because of the Krautrock series, I was inspired to pick up some Wendy Carlos records because I was going out to get the Shining soundtrack. They had it for sale at Freak Beat, but I was too late because apparently there's some weird man in the Valley who buys every single soundtrack that comes into Freak Beat as soon as it comes in.
One day you will be that man. So don't worry about that. It will be you one time. And then everyone's going to be like, who is this weird guy?
Yeah. So
Did you find it?
I did. So
okay. This is cool.
The two that we got. This is the first one that made Wendy Carlos a star. Is this series, this Switched On series?
And I believe you can't really find this on streaming, right?
I don't think you can.
Yeah,
no.
So you should probably try to get the vinyl if you can. If you want to be that guy that Marcus is in this town, please do.
Yeah, I mean this is the first of like the Switched On series where people would take older pieces of music and play them on the Moog synthesizer, you know, and and interpret them in entirely new ways. And it eventually like just turned into this crazy cottage industry where there was like they started doing like Switched On country albums. I've got a Switched On country album that's both terrible and amazing at the same time. The only good one is like they do a version of Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town that's surprisingly affecting. I got one that's Switched On Joplin, that's Scott Joplin tunes, like The Entertainer, like did it.
It's a lot of abandoned haunted hotel music is what I call it.
It is. But that was the first one that I got. The next one, and this one, I actually have not listened to this one yet because these records actually just came in the mail today. Yeah. This one is the Well-Tempered Synthesizer. And this is actually, this record, this is how I found out that Wendy Carlos is trans.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I've been listening to Wendy Carlos forever, for so many years, and didn't realize until this showed up in the mail. I'm like, huh.
Interesting.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad that it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Not at all. But this is basically, this one is pretty much just a continuation of this one.
It's so good. I really recommend this.
I absolutely love this.
And I love the cover.
I love the cover. I love it so much.
Is it this one? Should we do this one? Yeah, don't worry. No one will see it. Okay, great.
I mean, I bet that sounds incredible. I bet it sounds absolutely incredible.
Bach is awesome. I actually listen to a lot of Bach when I'm doing research, like a ton of Bach, and Handel sometimes, but mostly Bach, because Bach's got the more cello kind of music, which I prefer better than the Mozart piano, like that goes. It's really annoying. That's the smartest I can be right now.
So next up on the vinyl haul, this is actually like, we're also just going to be not just talking about like new stuff that we've gotten, but we're also going to be digging into the collection because we got some good feedback from the last episode in which I showed a double that we have in the collection. So I'm going to show another double that we have, but this one has a different reason behind it.
I'm serious. Let's all be excited with Marcus, okay?
Well, this one, see, my White Whale for so many years, the record that I look for everywhere, the record that I had to have in my collection was a first pressing of Suicide's first record. Just because, goddamn, look at that. It's just so amazing. Everything about this. This is my favorite album cover. It's among my favorite albums. It keeps switching between this and Here Come the Warm Jets by Brian Eno. But this is the first pressing of the record, and this is the second pressing, which is so...
That's really cool, too.
Yeah, which is also amazing. I mean, these guys knew how to do they knew how to do covers. And the cool thing about this one is that I actually got this one because it includes a special 23 minutes in Bruxelles flexi disc.
This is so cool. I love everything about this, by the way.
Yeah.
And I never heard of Suicide until you, by the way.
No, yeah? Well, I mean, it's not... I mean, that's not super surprised. How much did the Suicide record cost? Actually, it wasn't as expensive as you'd think it would be. And I'll leave it at that.
How much was it, though?
It's not as expensive as you'd think it'd be.
That's a good answer for your wife. Because sometimes Marcus will be coy about something. I'm like, how much did you spend? I'm like, not a lot. Not a lot.
Not
I'm
a
like,
lot.
but really, how much? Because
Less-
I bought discount eggs today.
Less than you'd think?
Okay. I'll accept that as an answer.
Yep, that's the. But the cool thing about it is that it did. If you've never seen these things before, don't really come around a whole lot. They're usually used for promos, but this is a flexi disc where it's fully like it's not like true vinyl. Well, it is true vinyl, but it's not, thick vinyl. But yeah, this is recorded live in Bruxelles, July 16th, 1979. And it's just Frankie Teardrop.
Yeah.
It's just side A is Frankie, side B is Frankie. It's just one 23-minute performance of Frankie Teardrop.
Who knew that Belgium really has a rich history in punk rock music in the 70s?
They really did.
Insanely so.
Yeah, they really, really did. And I've heard some Belgian punk too. Like some bands that were inspired by like all these other bands that were coming in and out.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good.
You could say they were the holdover before like the big thing, which is funny because that's also World War One. Sorry, that's a nerd joke.
Well, this next record is actually one that you picked up. And this is truly one of those less than you'd think. But this is one of those records, like, tell the story, please, because this is the story
one
that
I visited LA that time.
This is the story that like every record collector dreams of. Like, tell the story and then I'll reveal the record.
Okay, so I was, when I used to do stand up a lot more, right? I went to LA to do a weekend somewhere. And I was walking around, I think, was it Venice Beach or something? And you and I just started dating, so you didn't come with me or anything. And I went, and I was walking around, and then I saw, I swear to God, a holy light beaming down on a church sale. And I'm not a church person, but I walked into it because it said records for sale.
Yeah.
$1. And I seriously, it was the angels singing choir and everything. And I walked in there and I got a bunch of first pressings for $1 each.
She paid $1 for this first pressing.
And honestly, I have like 6 other. I have Sweet. I have Ramones. I think I've got. Man, they took away my Bob Dylan, unfortunately. But like, I got so many first pressing albums that they were selling at some. Like I've been saying, estate sales. Because someone obviously died, and they didn't realize how much that was worth, or like how precious it is.
And not only that, but it's in great condition. And look, it also came with the original sleeve, like the lyric sheet. Like this is incredible. Like like $1. Actually, I can if I can find the record itself. Well,
yeah,
the record itself is back there, but it still has the $1 sticker on it.
Yeah. Yeah, every record was $1. So I came home with like 30 records and a T-shirt I brought you. It was like the first thing I ever bought you.
Yeah.
Or something from Venice Beach.
Yeah, it was. You were actually wearing it yesterday.
This morning. Yeah, I slept in it. Yes.
Because it got too small for me.
Sometimes we buy really cheap shirts and they shrink and then they become my shirts.
Yes, that happens quite a bit.
No, look at us just talking about it. Anyway, any questions?
And yes, any questions? This is from Nola_Scoop. And this is before we have, I have one more record to show that I think you guys will love. Nola_Scoop says, do y'all think about buying a hunk of land in Texas and just chilling? The answer is no.
Have you heard about what's been going on in Texas?
Have you heard of Texas?
Reading about politics?
Have you heard of this thing?
No.
Do you know about this? Have you heard about this? Do you know about this?
Absolutely not. You kidding me? It's hard enough to live in America.
No, Texas, my time in Texas, I love my family in Texas. I'll always visit Texas, but my time living in Texas has been behind me for about 16 years now and will never return again. I don't belong there. They don't want me there.
They don't want me there.
They don't want me there. I don't want to be there. It's not like it was even to the, it was great. It was even to the point like when I was like, it was just starting the network, like way back before we really even had a name. I think we were just still like Cave Comedy Radio, maybe like just starting off with that. I was thinking about maybe like moving back to Texas and because just shit was going too hard. I was running the network and washing dishes like during the day, trying to do both, burn the candle at both ends. And I called my brothers and like, hey, I'm thinking about moving back. A friend of mine says like he wants to open a music venue in Lubbock with me. I might do that. And he goes, no. He said, don't come back, please. He's like, I love you. I miss you, but don't come back. You can't come back. You don't belong here.
Yeah.
You belong there in New York or now Los Angeles. So yeah, Texas is Texas. We had a lot of great fans in Texas. There's absolutely some cool places. Dallas is somehow now cooler than Austin. Mm-hmm. Not really sure how that happened, but it totally
the
did.
most diverse city in like it surpasses Queens now.
Yeah, Houston is super fucking cool as well.
So.
Austin, if you know, if you know,
I don't know. You should ask us about music and movies so we know more about that.
Oh, movies. Speaking of El Condor Pasa 69 asks, what do you guys think of the TV movie version of The Shining?
Love it.
You loved it?
I mean, I saw it once when I was a kid and I loved it. What's wrong with loving something?
There's nothing wrong with loving it. But if you guys haven't seen it, it's got the guy from Wings as Jack Torrance.
I love that you asked this El Condor Pasa in 69.
Thank you.
Because we talk about this about twice a year, by the way. We talk about this exact thing. Because you read the Shining novel recently.
I'm getting back into like not trash novels, but easy novels like Stephen King and like Isaac Asimov and like just really relaxing thing. So I just reread The Shining and it holds up. It's a fucking great novel. I mean, Stephen King isn't the best writer always, but it's a great fucking story. It's one of his few novels that has an ending that actually works. It's like actually good.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is that in the TV movie version with the guy from Wings, it does end in the more, I guess, faithful, like the faithful version of the book of the novel.
Well, famously, Stephen King absolutely hated internet problems.
We got internet problems.
Does that mean that?
We're going to just...
Oh, we're recording it. Oh,
okay.
All right. But famously, Stephen King absolutely hated Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining. And that's part of the reason why the TV movie was made, is because he wanted something that was faithful.
Get me the guy from Wings. We need to set this right.
And a super annoying kid to play Danny, who always looks like he's about to be crying. Always.
Child actors are annoying. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry they are. Yeah.
It's just the case. Oh, we're back.
Hey, welcome back. We just talked about how Stephen King, you don't really need to know.
Or you can come back to it. But basically what we do about a couple times a year is that we sit around and we talk about which ending we like better. And I think the TV movie ending is pretty cool. And then how they did like the kind of weird Star Wars thing at the end where Danny's graduating from high school or something, and his father stands there kind of like like a dead Jedi, just, and to me that, I've seen Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke about 12 times, and I barely remember it, well, because, substances. But that movie, the Shiny TV movie, I will never forget that scene.
I don't know why, and I don't know why they chose to do that, because that's not in the book. And I'm not going to tell you how the book ends.
Why did George Lucas do it? it's what happens. It's just what happens when you're done in the Ewok City and then you're having a good time.
We do the Anakin. Why the Anakin Skywalker ghost?
We should do a movie stream one day.
Yes, we should. But what ruined the stream, what ruined the TV movie was the horrible CGI on the hedge animals. It was because in the book, the hedge animals are terrifying. Like, it's such a great scene.
Okay, so there's a big maze with the hedges, like the plants, right? You're
Well,
talking about.
outside. Well, in the book, they have hedge animals outside. Like, the maze doesn't exist in the book at all.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
So there are a bunch of there's
just
instead like a
animals.
bunch of hedge animals that
come to
to life and attack Jack and chase Dan. There's this great scene where they like chase Danny like into a snow tunnel. It's so fucking cool. But in the TV movie, it's TV movie special effects budget from like 1994.
Oh, you should see the Langoliers.
That's exactly what I was about to mention. Is the Langoliers. My
It's like a
God.
screensaver was
Yeah.
coming after you. Anyway,
The last record we have for the vinyl haul this week is an original pressing, the first
Ooh,
pressing
yes.
of Iggy Pop's "The Idiot." But what makes this one special is I picked this one up at Academy Records in New York City, in Brooklyn. What came with it was the original press packet from RCA.
I love it when they type these up because
Yeah.
you know they typed them up themselves.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they typed it up. Somebody had to type this whole thing up. But of course, like, the voice of the idiot is cadaverous and hollow, ringing with the gaunt authority of a legend come back to life. It's the first album in 4 years from Iggy Pop, a.k.a. Iggy Stooge, a.k.a. James Osterberg, and the second Iggy Pop album to be produced by David Bowie, who also contributes some odd, sweet and sour synthesizer work.
I love it. That was during the Berlin era, which we will talk about at the end of the Krautrock series. As you guys may know from our Stooges series, Iggy Pop, after he crashed and burned with the Stooges for a while, he ended up going with David Bowie on tour with him on a European tour to kind of sober up, but not really, because sometimes they did drugs.
Yeah.
But they did it like responsibly, where they'd do a lot of drugs and then take 2 days break and then do a lot of drugs again. I don't think that's responsible, but that's not me.
Yeah.
So anyway, while they were in Berlin, they checked out a lot of cool music and a lot of cool scenes, and they got inspired by a lot of the bands that we're going to talk about, which is great.
And that's why we're going to get to talk about Bowie in Berlin. Going to get to talk about Iggy Pop. But
And there's a great book called Bowie in Berlin, actually, that you should check out. Like we're going to use that for the series. It's very, very good.
Very much so. It's funny the lies they tell in this.
Iggy Pop lying?
Yeah, they say like Iggy vomited, jammed pencils into his flesh. I don't think he ever did that. Did he ever jam pencils into his flesh?
I mean, he did jam like glass
and
stuff and pieces of a table that he would break together.
Yeah, they say dove onto a stage covered with broken glass.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true. And poured hot wax over himself. I mean, that's not that bad. I've done that.
We'll do that our next set at Footsies, by the way. We will do that.
Yeah, but this was such a cool thing because I love these old press releases, the way that they're written. Because it's like somebody at RCA wrote.
It was probably like a woman, like a journalist person who's like starting, like they're 22 years old, and they get this really cool job, and that they have to type press releases, and then next thing you know, they're like Lillian Roxon or someone amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they have to write sentences like this. Like Iggy's past recordings, the idiot explores the cold, numb edges of the displaced soul, sometimes offering a grim sort of nihilistic clowning.
You know what? They did a pretty good job.
It's not bad.
Because when you put on The Idiot, I mean, as you know, unfortunately, it was the last record of one of our fallen heroes.
Yes, Ian Curtis.
Ian Curtis from Joy Division. That was the last record he played before he died by suicide. So I could see why they would add that in. I guess, I'm sorry. It's 9/11, okay? It's 9/11.
Guys, it's 9/11. Okay, now let's just all get a hold of ourselves here for a second because it's 9/11. I mean, okay, all right. I got,
we got some more. So
I got
actually,
a video.
we got a lot of videos.
I got a video that it's really gonna change the mood. It's really going to switch things around here. We're really going to put a reset button on all this stuff. Really going to change the mood here. This one I picked specifically for you.
Thank you.
Because I know you love this band. Here are 3 small children singing the Bee Gees.
You know I don't like children singing because that's how I grew up doing that. By the way, I was a child actress. I was in the choir. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh my God! I hate their parents. They probably eat vegan ice cream.
That's the thing is that the longer they go on, the more they find it.
Shh, I can't hear it. She looks great. Yeah, she got it. You know what? I love emo music. I'm going to say it right now. It's fantastic. Look, listen to this.
CW Gann says, oh, damn, it's good. It is. Oh, I didn't know they have a backing band. Hit the notes.
I love the whole kid thing. Them getting dressed. They're probably stuffing marshmallows and like the whole adult thing. I love this.
Yeah.
No, they sound great.
They sound
Actually,
incredible.
I usually am not about children doing stuff.
Well, you did. You coached children's soccer for what? 9 years? 12?
11 years.
11 years.
And
Yeah.
I love kids. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I love kids. This is when you put kids to work is a whole other thing. But that I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay. They seem great. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they wanted to comb over, but I hope that's what they chose.
I think they were probably fine with it. I think they were okay with it. They were told that it was necessary. But I think after all of the hours upon hours upon hours that they were forced to sing, the comb over was the least of their worries.
Yeah.
Just one more thing.
I love that.
I
Thank
love
you for
that
playing
too.
that.
Of course. And I got another one that I know you're going to love this one.
Okay.
This is another one. This is Robert Smith being Robert Smith.
Oh. Hey, don't make fun of Krusty the Clown. I would still pay money to go see that.
Oh.
Of course, I love Robert Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Hats off to Robert Smith.
That's all. Yeah, I saw him and I saw the Cure in 2003 or 2004. He looked pretty much like that, I think. He was wearing khakis, definitely. Yeah. He was wearing
totally see
cargo
that.
khakis, yeah. But he was incredible. I mean, and then I know they just played here in Los Angeles. I wish we could have gone and seen them.
Yeah, I know. I keep missing them. I've been missing them ever since I was 18. Every time they go on tour, I miss them, but I guess it was just never meant to be.
Yep, and Abandon the Biddy. Why are you doing that?
You deserved it.
These are safe Marcus videos after last week's stream. And you know what? I'm a multifaceted man.
He is.
Yeah, after last week's,
multitudes.
I contain multitudes because I enjoy videos of a woman feeding a baby bird out of her own mouth. But I also enjoy videos of small children dressed up like the Bee Gees singing Bee Gees songs.
That's true, because remember, I watched your stream last week, and I never watch your stream, and then I had to shut it off because I was in the middle of eating dinner. So don't watch the stream in the middle of eating dinner, but still watch the stream, by the way.
Please, still watch the stream.
Every Tuesday?
Every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I got another one that maybe it edges closer towards that territory.
Okay.
Yeah. This is because we showed on the last stream, we made a little bit of a joke saying that we had a new theme song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think we did this on the subathon.
Yes.
I came across more footage from the Dogs musical Apparently, what we watched was only the introduction to the actual artist who sang on that show. So let's watch the continuation of the Dogs musical. I found out it's Italian.
Yo, no, it's obviously Italian.
Let's see the Dogs.
Okay. You know, $20 is $20. Oh, is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, wow. She kind of looks like Christina.
Yeah.
It's like a Spanish version of Oprah.
Huh.
I don't know.
Spanish from Spain?
No, from, God, I actually don't, Spanish World. This is the best thing I can do. Hispanic World. Who is this woman? And I like her jacket, by the way.
It's a great
cool
jacket.
Yeah.
No,
No, I love that she insisted on having 20 man dogs who are also... Look, there's 2 gimps in the back.
It's the Gimp dogs that really give it a different flavor. Because if you just had the regular dogs and a couple of Dalmatians, yeah, the poodles, yeah, they do the dance together.
This, for some reason, I miss Midtown Manhattan. I don't know why, but I just do right now.
It really does
Hell's
give you that
Kitchen.
feeling. Yeah, this makes me miss New York 2008.
Everyone had their New York 2008, and you know, we were all open back then.
Yeah. It reminds me, for some reason, of nights at Korova Milk Bar. Did you ever go there?
No, but
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, it was a real weird bar. Look at this. Well, and that's where it ends.
I like it.
I adore it.
I can't
I
say anything.
absolutely adore it. And you got a video this time.
Oh, I
haven't
do.
seen it yet. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I don't even know if I should. Okay, we'll play it, but I did go on IMDb. I have not. It's a clip from a movie, and I didn't see the movie, and then I looked at the clip at the IMDb, and it did say it is doesn't hold up well.
Problematic was the word
yes,
they used.
it is. But luckily, the part I'm going to show you guys is not a problem. I hope, except unless you like Schlager music from Germany. So yes, let's play it, please.
Yes, and of course we covered Schlager a little bit on Amandul 2 Part 1. And also thanks to everybody for the fucking kind comments on the new episode. Everyone, we've had such a great response. Thank you so much for listening. And Amandul 2 Part 1 is even fucking better because you're going to get
Part 2.
Yeah, Amandul 2 Part 2.
Is even better. And I'm sorry for all everyone's like, you gave us so much information. And I'm like, it's okay, you can listen to it again. But anyway, yes, let's play this. It's from a movie from 1985 called Otto the Film. And it's from some comedian guy. But the thing I found cool about it was a parody to Schlager music. And there's a couple people there you might recognize.
Oh.
Yeah. So if we could play it. Oh, there we go. So just so you know, really quick, I'll give you the plot. Young Otto finally wants to leave home, so he moves to a big city in Hamburg where he borrows his starting capital from a man named Shark, who turns out to be a loan shark. Yes, he grows into a mountain of debt, but where is Otto supposed to get the money he needs? Maybe...
I know!
And then I don't know. They're in a cemetery, and then there's a group full of hinos.
I know, of course, the biggest Schlager artist of all time.
But he's trying to get his money from Sylvia, the woman he loves, but they have a thriller moment here, as you can see. And this is what Heino's supposed to look like.
Heino also is known as a big proponent of Volksmusik.
Yeah. I think this was the highest production of the whole scene, of the whole movie. I mean,
This is incredible. That's very much, that is a bit of a reference to Heino's possible sympathies
to Nazis.
to Nazis.
Also, one thing I learned from IMDb, by the way, most successful German movie of all time with 14 million viewers. But since records about viewers' attendance weren't kept in the GDR, the estimated number of 14 million viewers could be ambiguous, which means it might be a lie. Thank you, Germans. But it was one of the most popular movies of all time of that time.
That's incredible.
Of all time of that time.
Of all time of that time.
I don't know. I'm just a co-host of No Dogs in Space.
Oh, McSizzle0 said, did y'all know anyone able to go to the Beastie Boys Square opening? Would have sold my kidney to have been there. No,
Yeah,
but
well, we know Jeremy Shatton was
Jeremy
there.
Shatton, that's right. And we do know Jeremy Shatton.
So Jeremy
Yeah.
Shatton was in a band with Mike D back when they were in middle school, and the Young Aborigines or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was the Young
before
Ab-
they realized it was not a good idea.
Yeah.
But this was before they became the Beastie Boys, and Jeremy Shatton moved on to other things, and then the Beastie Boys kind of started, right? And so Jeremy Shatton, he did answer a lot of insane questions I had about the early years with the Beastie Boys, which was so cool. And definitely check out his blog, An Earful. Right, it's called
An Earful, yeah.
An Earful. Look it up. It's fantastic. He's also, I think, he has a monthly podcast. He was there, at the Beastie Boys thing, and I wish we were there. That was so fantastic.
Yeah, and actually, since we have the Beastie Boys, it's 8 o'clock.
Oh yes,
We got a Beastie. Let's watch this Beastie Boys.
It's so good. It's so
this
good.
is one of the coolest TV performances I've ever seen. And before we go, thank you, B1N4 RYB1RD101101 said this is a great first stream to join in on. So thank you so
for
much.
joining us.
And a connoisseur of sorts, when do I get to hear you all talk about Ween? Sometime. Oh, you've seen him for the 8th time tomorrow night? I've only seen him 3 times. I had to give up my 4th.
You two should hang out.
I had to give up my 4th time
It'll happen,
for
I
the
promise.
subathon this year. Unfortunately, it was my first time with front row seats, and I had to give it up. But we'll see him again. But we're
see
talking
him
about the
again.
Beastie Boys here. Let's see this performance. This is absolutely incredible. This was done
legendary.
This was done live with no, it was done with some rehearsal, but not much. Let's see it.
Our next guests are a groundbreaking rap group whose new CD, To the Five Boroughs, this is it right here, is in stores today. Please welcome back to the program, Beastie Boys.
You trackies and TV addicts, don't mean that there's no mean to bring static. Or you cling onto your grandma's house, grab your backstreet friend to get loud. Pulling doors off hinges, I grab you with the pinches.
They just fucking did it on the streets of New York City in the middle of the day.
I think I know exactly where they are too. It's like Avenue of the Americas.
Yeah, because it's right. Because I remember where the Late Show studios are.
You know I get paid like a per se with the bass, so not we not there in the hate, so I'm not high Nick at night with thanks me running that you know.
I mean, they definitely have the bodyguard real close.
So what's up with that? I got friends and family that I respect when I
You see, they just passed Everett Letterman right there. They're on like 57th Street or something.
Yeah.
When the rap, so I guess it ain't true. Like that, your engine just don't stop. We guaranteed to make your body rock. Check it out.
Yeah, no fucking lip syncing, nothing like that. Like they're
No,
doing
they
that shit.
sang this.
They sang this.
Yeah.
Said doc, what's the condition?
So much respect to
I'm a
them.
man that's on a
This is
mission.
incredible.
Said son, you better listen. Stuck in your is an electrician. Like a scientist. I'm applying this method of control in my mind like Einstein and rap and do comply. Hey baby bubba, now
They
what's
made
the
it.
deal?
They made it.
Every time I get word.
Yeah, every time it's like, oh, are they gonna make it into the studio?
But you won't see it later. I work magic like a magician. I add up, I'm a mathematician. The bank cashier, engineer. I wear cotton, but I don't wear tea.
There's Mario.
How incredible is that? That's so fucking cool.
I mean, this was recorded, right? Oh wait, this is live.
Yeah, it was live. Like, I mean, they did it
I
live.
mean,
Yeah.
they recorded it during the day live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all late night shows are recorded at like 3 p.m.
I went to a late night show, so yeah, it is in the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
That's our show.
That's-
that's so good. Go on YouTube and watch that again because
Yes.
it's worth it. And put it on like once a month or so.
that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us this week. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
We have so much fun doing this show. Thanks for I don't know. Just thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for coming in to chat,
Yeah.
and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We're going to be here every single Monday, every other Monday.
Every other Monday.
Yeah, every other Monday.
Because I got to work on Can.
Yeah, at 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can count on us. We'll see you then. Bye. We'll be back with Amandul 2, Part 2 soon, and then Can right after that.
Yeah.
We're always working on the show.
Always, every day.
Every day, always.
Just so you know.
Bye.
Not a passion product.